Okay, we are with today's race-winning driver, the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske, Joey Logano. Joey, 300th milestone, 300 start. You're right.
Hey, yeah, I'm okay. The microphone's a little bit broke. Who was talking so much they broke the microphone up here?
Denny was in here for a little bit. Well, speaking of equipment issues, one of them caused you to start on the from the rear of the field and march your way all the way back there to the win today. Talk about those challenges and then winning in your milestone 300 start.
Yeah, it was real nice. Obviously, when I got the text from Todd yesterday when I was up in the booth talking, I thought, oh, man, and, this is not the place you want to start in the back for a lot of reasons. For one, you have 5-6 laps on your tires because qualifying. And then, obviously, so you don't really have an advantage on anybody. And, two, being a short track, you kind of got to go hard on the short run to try to not go down a lap and hope for a caution. And that worked out really well. We got, a nice caution 5 laps into the race, put some sticker tires on it when some guys still had their qualifiers on it. Be able to start picking them off slowly. It took us all day to at least break into the top 5. We kind of level out as a 5th, 7th, 8th place car. It seemed like everyone from 4th to 10th was about the same speed. So it's just all about just gaining a little bit of track position on restarts and pit stops. And we just kind of stayed right around there. And Todd made some good calls at the end, got us some track position. We had a good pit stop at the end that maintained the track position. And then some good restarts that were able to get the lead back when everyone stayed out on old tires and just try to check out. That was the goal. It wasn't one of those save your tires and don't get too big of a lead. It was go as hard as you possibly can because I knew how quick Brad was. I saw it all day. He was the fastest car. He led a ton of laps today, and so I knew I just had to get the biggest lead I could because he cut off a good second there at the end. So glad the race is 400 laps because if it's any shorter, we probably wouldn't have won. If it's any longer, we wouldn't have won. So it just turned out just right for us today.
And before I open it for questions, you mentioned Brad, 1-2 finish with Team Penske. They did it yesterday in IndyCar. Can you just talk about the caliber of Team Penske is, especially
Sounds like we're going to have a party. It's pretty neat to have a couple 1-2 finishes over the weekend. And, also, I think four to top 5 are Fords. Is that right? Yeah. Hey, that's not bad. So a lot of good things that came out of this weekend for Ford and Team Penske as well. And, it's nice to break through and get our first points win of the year. That being on the 300th start. For me personally, that was kind of a cool milestone to hit and driving in the victory lane with that too. Hey, did you hear that 6 people have won on their 300th start? How about that crazy stat? That's pretty cool.
And one of them was another Team Penske guy, Rusty Wallace, did it in 1993.
Hot dog. All right.
Okay, we'll open it up to questions for Joey. We'll start up here with Jeff.
How many people have won on their 400th start? Nobody knows here.
I'll let you know in a couple years.
Yeah.
Jeff Gluck from jeffgluck.com. Joey Todd was saying before he broke the microphone that they had mentioned that they told you you run 80% today, starting at the back. They didn't want you to go all out, come through the field. Did you take their advice?
I did. I hate it too. I am not wired that way. I am, the balls to the wall type of guy, hard as I can, all the time. That's the way I'm wired, and that's what's proven to be successful at certain racetracks. Richmond's not one of them. Richmond's one of them that you pay the penalty if you go too hard, and I was able to kind of try to find a nice line that was able to try to preserve my tires for the long runs. Obviously, we had a lot of long runs here today, and that was kind of expected, as Richmond typically is. And then, at the end, it was take that 80% thing and throw that out the window. It's game time, and I was able to give it 100%. And even that last run, going as hard as I did, I started to pay the penalty towards the end of the race when Brad was catching me. So, there's a time to go and a time to whoa, right? So we were able to play those cards at the right time.
Any questions? Further questions? We'll go with Hank on the left here.
Hey, Joey. Hank Kurz with AP. What's it like when you kind of feel like you stole a race?
Feels good because I haven't stolen from me a lot, so it feels nice. We've put ourselves in the opportunity to win at Texas, possibly if our car was faster. We weren't quite fast enough to do it. Here we were just fast enough to break through and kind of steal a win. We had a decent car. We were, in the lead when the caution came out there, and we looked like we were in pretty good shape. And then, obviously to have the good pit stops and all that, I don't really know if you call that stealing. We didn't get lucky. We were able to just do what we know how to do and execute the best, and that's the way we won. So I don't know if stealing is the right word for what happened today.
Go Zach in the middle there, and then Ellen.
Yep, Zach Albert, NASCAR.com. Joey, Brian France was in here earlier. He brought his son in here, and he was asked, he basically said, hey, who do you want to win the race? He said, Joey Logano. How do you think he's going to run? He said, terrible.
He thought I was going to run terrible?
That's what he said.
That's funny.
Starting in the back, I don't know, was he accurate with that? And did you know he is a fan of yours?
I do. He actually sat with me there in the driver's meeting today. And, he's pretty funny. Yeah, just like every other kid. I don't know how exactly how old he is. I think he's 6 or so. He's just like every other 6-year-old that says the funniest thing sometimes, and it's quite a hoot. So. He's fun to hang out with, and I've gotten to know him a few times, and when we're at the banquet, I see him, or just select races during the season he gets to come to, and I get to talk to him a little bit. And I don't know why he chose me as his favorite. Glad to know he's got a lot of faith in me, though.
We'll go here to Ellen.
Hi, Joey. Ellen Hurrow, USA Today Sports. You've had a lot of really strong finishes this year, other than the crash at Phoenix, which you can throw out the window. Did you feel like a win was just a matter of time, given how well you've been running?
Yeah, we haven't really looked at the stats a whole bunch because, we've been running well, but we haven't been the fastest car at the right times. So I think we've been really looking at how can we make our cars faster. Are we fast as we want to be yet? No, absolutely not. We weren't the fastest car today, but we were able to win. I think that's 5 straight top 5s. That's a pretty cool little accomplishment to have this early in the season. And to break through with a win on that's nice. But and we've been consistent, right? I think every race has been in the top 10 besides Phoenix that we crashed in. So, we're doing what we know how to do. We're a consistent race team. We're battling back from things that happen during the race. We haven't scored as many stage points as we'd like. Even today, I think I only got 1. I think I finished 10th in the first one and maybe 11th in the second, I think. So not very good in the stage points today. But the win with the playoff points that comes along with that gets a thumbs up today. So good thing we got that.
Go over to Barry.
Barry Richmond, Piedmont Broadcasting, WAKG. Great win today, and not one thing has to do with the other, but how does that change your mindset going into Talladega, which, one always calls a wild card later in the season?
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't change our mindset at all. Our goal is to win, and our goal is to race when we go to Talladega. We're one of those teams that really, to the point of not knowing how to go 80%, it's the same thing when I go to Talladega. I don't know how to go right in the back. I want to go lead every lap and race up front. Now, sometimes that doesn't work for me, but every now and again we're able to break through with a win. It seems like we go to Talladega, we either win or crash, so I'm okay with that. If the wins break through every now and again, I'm all right with that. So, our strategy is the same every time we go to a speedway, no matter we're in position to get through to the next round, like we, hopefully we'll be in when we go back down there in the fall. But we're just going to be wide open either way.
You see the stage racing as impacting performance on the track at the super speedways, maybe going back to Daytona?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The stage points, they mean so much. I'm pretty sure I probably lost points to Brad today, considering, and we won the race. So the stage points mean so much, and we didn't we haven't scored many stage points over the year. We've had nice finishes, but we haven't scored many stage points. We have one stage win, which gives us the playoff point, but that's it. So we need to get a little better during the race. We've been able to come at the end and get to where we need to be and get up front, but we weren't really able to do that during the race yet. So we got to clean that up a little bit. And things like today kind of set you back, right? When you got to start in the back. We had to start in the back in California. We had to start in the back here. We've had pit road penalties. We've had issues on the racetrack. We've you name it. We've gone through it and we've been able to finish really well. But we've got to get the stage points during the race.
And to confirm, you earned 2 stage points today. Finished 10th in both stages.
Oh,
Stage 1 and Stage 2.
hot dog.
We'll go to Nate here.
Hey, your
Mic
microphone's
problems.
broke too?
Yeah, no, I fixed it.
Oh, good job.
I'm
Did you
better
hit
than your
it?
crew chief, apparently.
That fixes it?
Yeah, just slam it. Hey, Ryan, NBC Sports. So you seem kind of fascinated by the 300th start, 18th win thing, and I'm just doing a little research here, so I got to follow up to this. But first, is that about where you want to be for 300 starts? Is 18 wins? Do you think about that? Do drivers think about that? Do you ever look at those rankings?
Well, first off, if you think 18 out of 300 doesn't sound very good, does it? It's, but the first 150 were pretty bad. I think that's hurts the stat a little bit. If you look at the last 150, yeah, we're pretty proud of that. I count at 20 wins because I count the All-Star race and the Clash. I think there are still races, and I got trophies for them, so I count those. I know no one else does, but I count everyone I can. They're hard to come by. You count everyone you could possibly get. You kidding me? Is it where I want to be? No, I don't think I can ever tell you it's where I want to be. My goals are set so high that I don't think I think they are reachable, but that one there, 18 out of 300, maybe not reaching where I want to be.
Well, as a follow-up, I mean, you ask it doesn't sound like very many. I mean, this puts you, from what I can tell from Racing Reference, you are now in a 4-way tie for 45th. So you're now firmly in the top 50 with 18 wins. I guess that's not bad, right?
Long ways to go. That guy, Richard Petty guy, he's got quite a few. Richard Petty guy, he won a lot of races, didn't he?
Kaylee, in the front here, please.
Hey, Joey, I got another stat for you. Your 15th win in the last 4 seasons puts you 1 behind Jimmy Johnson over that stretch. What's it like to be, you talked about your first 150 races, over your last 150 races, what's it like to be in that kind of company?
Yeah, that's real nice. I was watching Race Hub last week after he won again, and it said will he get to 100 wins or something like that? And I'm thinking, man, I'm about to start my 300th race. He's won 100 of them almost. Holy crap! So that's what I thought when I was watching it. To be within 1 win of a legend like Jimmy Johnson is, hey, that's pretty freaking cool. Of the last, like you said, 4 years since I've been with Team Penske. So we're a strong team, but we got to get some championships and keep winning those races. So it's nice to keep stacking them up, but long ways to go. But at least I'm young and I got a long ways to go.
Jim?
Motorsport.com, you rattled off a list earlier of some of the things that have happened to you in races this season, and you have talked afterwards of wanting just to get a clean race. Today you had to start from the back, but what does the performance and the victory speak about your team that even faced with bad circumstances, you were able to come out on top today?
We're resilient, that's for sure, and we've shown that over the last 4 years that you can't hold us down. He might be able to put us back every now and again, but you're not going to hold that team down. It's just such a strong team. The attitude is everything, right? When you look at sports, you got to have that attitude. You got to have that, I will win attitude. We will fight back, and the team's got that. I don't even have to preach it. That's something that is somehow just installed into all of them somehow. And I think a lot of it, if you look at the pit crew, they're all athletes, right? They're athletes that have been through a lot of high pressure situations in motorsports and outside of motorsports. And to me, a true athlete is someone that can be better under pressure in situations like this. My team's full of that. And I think that through the road crew as well. You know, we constantly are working, and there's never anyone that's saying we're working too hard and they want to get back home. They all want it just as bad as me and just as bad as Todd. Everyone wants to win, and that's why we're successful, is because it's attitude. It's all about attitude.
Go up to the press box for one, and then wrap it up with Jeff here.
Brant James, USA Today Sports. Joey, it's almost May, a month that's very important to your boss, and taking into account today here with you and Brad in Phoenix last night, what kind of momentum do you think this carries in, and how happy do you think the boss is going to be the next time you see him heading into that month?
Yeah, I think he's on his way to Australia right now, so hopefully he's happy. I don't know if there's a reason why he shouldn't be happy at a great weekend, but you know, obviously, like you said, it's a big moments coming up for Team Penske when you think of the Indy 500 coming up, and Coke 600, and obviously the races that come up in the month of May. So, yeah, it's race time, right? This is the time of the year that you know, you get in that heat. You know, you slipping and sliding all the time. That's just it's part of it, and you know, it's a good part of the season for us in the past. You know, and usually, as the 22 team goes throughout the season, we're usually able to pick up a little bit as it comes playoff time. So hopefully we're able to do that again too.
Okay, we'll end it with Jeff in the middle here.
Joey, Jeffrey Miller, Athlon Sports. Commitment line box played a big role in today's race. Is there any strategy when you're leading and you're coming to pit road and you kind of angle in there to keep the guys behind you from seeing that? And what was your reaction when you learned that Kyle Busch got the penalty to throw to the rear?
Honestly, I didn't know what it was for, and you know, there was no strategy behind it. Just a late call to pits. It was a very late call that Todd said pit, and I was like, oh, okay. And I took a hard left and was able to get down. But when you're the trailing car, you know, you're looking at a rear spoiler. You know, so you're not 100% sure where that box is, and you know, it's a tough situation. You know, there wasn't really any strategy behind it. Just happened, right? You know, just a late call to pit.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Joey. Congratulations on the big win, and good luck next week at Talladega.
All right, great. Thanks, guys.